All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah HaKodash. A double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And as you see on the screen, and this article is from endtimeheadlines.org, and it reads, Trump's spiritual advisor, Paula White, says to say no to President Trump would be saying no to God. Right. And we understand, first off, it's a lot off, even about this woman being in this position, because first, she's an Edomite. That's number one, and as the scripture says, who are you to declare the Most High statutes and judgments, man? Matter of fact, let's grab that in the book of Psalms. Judgment. Let's go judgment. That's like it. Psalms 50. It is Psalms 50. And I'll start here at 16. And it reads, But unto the wicked Yahweh saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in my mouth? Right? Seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. Right here it is. You have a Edomite woman, pastor, teacher, or whatever to call her, spiritual advisor, saying to say no to President Trump would be saying no to God, man, or saying no to the Most High. First off, you shouldn't be touching the Bible at all, and you're an Edomite, man. You're an Edomite, and you're a woman, right? The scriptures even tell, the Israelite woman shouldn't even be, in this position of a pastor or teacher, right? It says Paula White Kane, and isn't that something, right? Last name, Kane, right? A prominent televangelist and longtime spiritual advisor to Trump. And that's the left hand, right? It says, made a striking and highly controversial declaration. To say no to President Trump will be saying no to the Most High. This comment, shared in social media clips and reports about her remarks, has sparked intense discussion across religious and political communities alike, raising questions about theology, church-state boundaries, and the role of religious leaders in American politics. Paula White Kane is not a casual observer of politics. She's a well-known televangelist with a national platform and the leader of the White House Faith Office, a new advisory body created by Trump himself, man. Right? So here it is. The White House has a faith office now. In the midst of all the madness, all the unrighteous decrees that they've set up, in the midst of, them forwarding a new world order, Novus Ordo Seclorum, in the midst of them establishing the alphabet agenda, so forth and so on. We can go on and on, man. In the midst of them administering and saying, these vacas are mandatory. In the midst of all that madness, it's a faith or a house of God now. Get the fuck out of here, man. Right? This just goes to show you, man. As the scripture says this, it's a spirit. Transgression multiplied, man. Multiplieth. Oops. This is Shalaki. Transgression increase. I know it's at 20. Here it is. It's Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Right? Under this administration, you've had the most mourning, man. You've had the most people in a destitute position. People not being able to afford groceries. People not being able to afford rent. The massive job layoffs, AI centers and data is taken over, the environment being destroyed. This is all under the same devil that she's vouching for, man. So how is that even a godly office, right? here it is. This is the worst state and condition that men, women, and children have ever been in. That's why when we go into the book of Sirach, 10, and I'm gonna start here at 3. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Right? Because at the moment, guess what? It's very unprofitable for man and beast upon the earth alike, man. This place is a cancer upon the earth. And it's because Esau Edom is ruling under the guidelines that they're supportive or backed by God, right? Now this is 10 and 10. It says, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. Because this is what it is. America is a disease, and ultimately that disease has been spread forth across all these nations. That's why the scripture speaks about what? The wine for fornication. All the nations have drunken, and therefore the nations are mad, man. Right? Because what? They followed, Esau Edom. All the nations are mad at this whore. And we're going to see it grow increasingly as the year, this new so-called new year continues to go. It says her relationship with Trump stretches back more than a decade. And she has been part of a evangelical advisory circle since his first campaign and presidency. She has built her reputation on charismatic preaching and prosperity theology. Right? And the scriptures talk about those that preach that gain is godliness, right? It says a belief that faith, donations, and spiritual alignment brings the Most High's blessings, including material success. This theology, while embraced by many, is also highly controversial and criticized by other Christian theologians, for it focuses on wealth and its divergence from mainstream Christian teachings. The heart of the controversy lies in White's claim that rejecting Trump is equivalent to rejecting the Most High. Well, this also goes to show you at what angle they're coming with in terms of, raising Trump up as some type of leader, man. Right? Because what happened during the time of Antiochus? He was the quote unquote king, right? Of the Grecians in that particular time. And they said what? He basically put forth the decree that any Israelite consenting unto the religion of their fathers, speaking for Israel, were to be put to death, right? And it said many Israelites consented. So as they have Trump in this position of basically the face of a new movement, the face of these laws and statutes that they put out. Well, guess what? He's also that as the apostles always say, Trump being a neuro reincarnated, man, right? He's ultimately the face of hell that's about to come, man, right? So it also goes into the pride of Edom, man, right? Because ultimately we understand, according to prophecy, Yahweh Bashim Ashai gave Esau Edom this appointed time to rule, right? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? But the scriptures also tell you better is the end of the thing than the beginning of it thereof, man, right? Because Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So her saying that, if you're saying no to Trump, you're saying no to God, is basically her exalting him as a power. And that's ultimately the strings that he is pulling, right? The whole beast system is about what? Exalting themselves above what is known as the Most High, man. Hence, Second Thessalonians 2. So it's bigger than just her saying no to Trump. It's saying no to, it's saying no to this system. It's saying no to what they would establish as their God, man. Right? But that's just what the article says. But it's bigger than just that one man. Because that one man is still controlled by other men. Right? He's still controlled by the top banking families, man. He's just the face of what's going on. Right? This 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. And it reads, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? Esau Edom, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as a power sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is a God. Right? Ooh, Slacky. Did I read that in Sirach 10? I believe. Tomorrow shall be 1 second. . Yep, I did. Right? It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he has a power, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is a power, man. Right? And when we look at, what's going on in terms of the technological increases, when you take a look at what's going on in terms of the monetary system, right? You see this devil rising in that great power. Basically, to the average person, he's going to be looked at as a god, man. Oh, through AI, he's able to see everything, So he's trying to mock or mimic, the ways in which Yahweh Bashem Yahshua observes, hence his omnipotency, hence his, what's the other word? Omnisciency, right? Well, him setting up the AI data centers and all these cameras with facial recognition and making him able to tap into your phones and your TVs to hear your voices and monitor you every second of the day. Well, that's ultimately that pride. That's him opposing and exalting himself above what is called the Most High, man. Right? 5, it says, remember ye not. Yep. That when I was with you, I told you these things. And now you know that now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in this time, right? And that's what's happening. He's being revealed. The more and more we bring out the evidence and the proof of who this devil is, hey, guess what? Then it's exposing him, right? It says the heart of the controversy lies in White's claim that rejecting Trump is equivalent to rejecting the Most High. She framed this during remarks about the current political movement and what she calls a spiritual battle shaping the nation's future. Her message wasn't just political support for Trump. It moralized the support in explicit religious terms. To many observers, right, we know that they're going to pull that Romans 13, man. Right? Matter of fact, let's go to it. And we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. And we know that he's going to ultimately be the one to bring forth the message that's saying, oh, if you don't agree with when we go into Revelation 13 and it speaks about the image of the beast and those who fight it, oppose it, right? He's going to be the face, to basically stamp. If you're against this system, then you're anti-American. Then you're anti-this. Then you're anti-that. And you're anti-this, right? And if we find you, hey, you're now going to be a target of the American society, man. Right? So that's him exalting himself, man. Or putting forth that pride to demonize those who don't want to bow down into the image of the beast and receive of that MOTB. Right? It says Romans 13, they're going to use this. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High, that the powers that be are ordained of Yahweh, right? And that's what they're going to use. Oh, well, Trump was ordained for the Lord to establish this, and anybody against this agenda or motives that the American government is pushing, hey, then you're anti-God, right? It says, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. And they're going to use this against the average Christian, man. See, but we understand what the scripture is really talking about. And this is what it means, man. Hey, yes, as Yahweh Shai even said it, when they brought him that coin with Caesar's face on it. He said, rend unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but give what belongs to Yahweh. Give it to Yahweh, man. Right? We understand we abide by the laws of the land. Right? Yeah, you wear your seatbelt. You drive, make sure you got your license and your papers are up to date, so forth and so on. You pay your rent, your mortgage, whatever that. All those things in which we're bound by, right? But once a line is drawn between a righteousness versus Esau trying to establish his dominance and wickedness, hey, that's when you cleave onto Yahweh Bashem Yahshua and you forsake this place. Right? For example, when the MOTB becomes established and mandated, just because the government tells you to do it, you don't go take it, man. There's a clear judgment of those that receive of the MOTB, man, and it's thermonuclear destruction. But the government is going to frame it away by saying, oh, well, the Lord set up America and the government for you to take this. Well, guess what? You take it, you're going to be destroyed. It's that simple. So at that point, do you then be subject unto the powers? Or do you then be subject unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai? Right? And it's plain. That's when you forsake this place and what? Submit or be subject completely unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. It's that simple. right? But they're going to use this unto, they're going to use this against the people. It says, for rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is a minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of Yahweh, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Right? And they're going to use this, to trick certain Christians and people who are on the fence who just don't understand. Right? But to go back to the article, it says, to many observers, especially outside her immediate circle, this crossed the line, equating a political choice with a religious imperative risk, blurring the lines, or it's like religious imperative risk, blurring the distinction between personal faith and partisan loyalty, a line most major Christian traditions and constitutional frameworks hold sacred. It says, White's statement hasn't gone uncontested. Many Christians, including pastors, scholars, and everyday believers, have pushed back strongly, arguing that her theology misrepresents core Christian beliefs about the Most High and the nature of discipleship. Right? It says Christian faith does not hinge on allegiance to any political leader, but it does. Right? Because here it is, Christians vote red or blue every year, submitting forth their allegiance unto this power, unto the government, man. Right? True believers aren't submitting themselves and putting in a ballot for another oppressor to rule over them, man. Right? You don't see us voting. Why? Does not the scripture speaks about two horns like a lamb and he spake as a dragon? How that system goes back into ancient Rome and now it's just been revitalized into modern day Babylon the Great. See, but they don't go into these things, man. Right? So as it says, many argue that such rhetoric confuse spiritual devotion with political allegiance. But this is what it is. This is part of the battle. Now, this is an easy thing to counter, but to the average person, they're not going to be able to be spiritually girded to fight against this, man. Right? So that's why through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, the Lord allow me to, bring some light into this situation or this article here, man. And that's pretty much the point. So saying no to Trump ain't saying no to the Most High, man. Because he's but a man. As I believe it's Romans 9. Come on now, man. It's never no problems to a lesson. Right? Because this is whose will and program we're on. Romans 9:19. It says, thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? And that's the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he hath afore prepared unto glory. Right? So it's not Trump who's in power, man. It's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Hey, Trump is but a man who has to also submit unto the Lord. Right? And guess what? He's an Edomite. And he's going to be a slave in the kingdom. Thus saith the scriptures, man. Hey, just like this woman is going to be. Right? Hey, she's going to have a beautiful judgment according to the Lord, man. So, hey, that's the point. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the body. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto. A matter of fact, a Salakia. Because it reminded me of another precept. Because this happened unto this man here. Right? He was exalted as a power. His spirit just had me hit me with this thought of what occurred to Herod, man. Because they said he was a god. Salakia. They exalted him Here we go. This is Acts 12. I'm going to start here at 18. Now, as soon as it was day, there was no small stir among the soldiers what was become of Peter. And when Herod had sought for him and found him not, he examined the keepers and commanded that they should be put to death. Right? So this is what? A commandment of a man. It says, and he went down from Judea to Caesarea and there abode. And Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre and Zidon. But they came with one accord to him. And having made Blastus the king's chamberlain their friend, desired peace, because their country was nourished by the king's country. And upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, it is the voice of a God, and not of a man. So in this time, what? They exalted Herod as a God, right? As she's trying to exalt, basically Trump saying, is saying no to God, that's exalting him as a power, right? So they did the same thing to Herod. It says, and the people gave a shout, saying, it is the voice of a God and not of a man. And immediately the angel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai smote him, because he gave not glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And he was eaten up of worms and gave up the ghost. And that's exactly what's going to happen to Trump and all these Edomites as well. The Lord is going to bring forth judgment unto them, man. Thus saith the scripture. So now I had to bring out the spirit. Hit me with that thought. I had to perfect ending, man, So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the body. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom to you, Akim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.